In a little less than 2 weeks, LeBron James will be celebrating his 36th birthday. By that time, he'll officially be in his 18th NBA season. So if you do the math, half of LeBron's life has been spent in the NBA. It doesn't even seem fathomable when you say that sentence out loud. Unfathomable is a word you might use when looking at LeBron's stats, trophies, and many broken records. How are all of his numbers so off the charts while he continues to defy Father Time? Our analytics expert, Kirk Goldsberry, thinks he cracked the code.
What if I told you that the reigning Finals MVP is also the oldest projected starter in the NBA this season? LeBron James, who turns 36 in a few weeks, has been to 9 of the last 10 NBA Finals. And when you combine regular season and playoff numbers, he's played and scored so much more than any active player, it's almost unfathomable. Carmelo Anthony is second to James in both minutes played and points scored. In terms of minutes played, the gap between LeBron and Carmelo is 16,385 minutes. For Carmelo to catch him, he'd have to play all 48 minutes for 341 games. In terms of points scored, the gap between LeBron and Carmelo is 13,446 points. For Carmelo to catch him, he'd have to score 30 points a game for 448 games.
I'm like fine wine, I get better with age.
James is set to become just the third player to cross 60,000 career minutes in the regular season and playoffs, joining Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Karl Malone. As he nears 2 decades in the league, it's forced him to find ways to manage his workload and to conserve his energy. In the age of load management, it isn't that LeBron is missing more games, he's load managing during games. According to Second Spectrum, James was one of the slowest players in the bubble. Throughout the playoffs last season, James' average speed on the court was just 3.59 miles per hour, the third lowest such figure among the postseason's most active players. He rests and conserves his energy so that when he decides to hit the turbo button, he still has this gear at his disposal.
Blocked by James! LeBron James with a rejection!
The combination of his mileage and the shortest offseason of his career could mean more rest than ever for James this season. How will he manage his workload as we head into 2021?
If I'm healthy, then I'm going to play. If coach sits me out, then I'm not healthy. And it's just that simple.
It's all on the table, as all eyes will be on James as he begins year 18.
The ageless wonder, LeBron James and the Lakers will be a regular fixture on ESPN and ABC this season, starting with a primetime game against Luka Doncic and the Mavs on Christmas. That game will be broadcast. It's so good. It's going to be broadcast on both ESPN and ABC. Among the other notable games on ESPN and ABC, the Lakers get the Pelicans, Sixers, and Celtics before an NBA Finals rematch against the Heat in
Man, I don't know if you're supposed to be shooting that efficiently from downtown. What's going on with the stroke this preseason?
Just trying to get back in the rhythm, find my game. Coach wants me to shoot more threes, and why not, get used to it in the preseason and get the shots up. So that's all it was. Just trying to find a rhythm and just be confident in my shot, confident in the game, and work on my game in the preseason games before we should get started.
First half reminded me, AD, of early in the bubble when you guys are mostly thinking about trying to stay healthy, but those competitive juices seem to come out. Defense picks up a level in the third quarter. Is that what happened to turn things around, even though it was a preseason game?
Yeah, anytime we go out there and play, we want to work on good habits, work on our game, and the thing that we can do is control how we play on defense. And coach got us on about our defensive intensity at half, and we closed the first quarter and the second quarter pretty good. First quarter they had 39 points, and we held them to 20-something in the second quarter, and then played a great defensive half in the second half. So we want to continue to work on our defense and be a dominant defensive team like we were last year. And it starts in the preseason. We got new guys, so we're going to continue to figure each other out and find ways that we can be better than we were last year.
Yeah, you mentioned the defense last year. That was a big thing that carried you to the championship. How different is this team? And I know it's tricky to judge after the preseason games, AD, but how are you feeling about the way things are coming together heading into the Open?
We feel good. We feel very good. The things we're able to do on the defensive end so quickly with our new guys is, it involves a lot of trust. It involves a lot of the new guys caring about playing defense, and it's about our schemes. And Coach complimented us on how well we're gelling together on the defensive end, doing things that we're really not supposed to be doing this early. And we got a lot of great cerebral players. Mark West, we picked up. So Trez, and we've been able to do some things that you probably wouldn't be able to do last year. But two totally different teams, both teams defensive minded. So we just take it team by team and try to figure out ways that we can be greater on the defensive end. But I feel good about our team. Going to our home opener. Played two, Clippers twice and Phoenix twice, and saw two totally different teams, and we're able to win all four. But even though we feel good about where we are, we still have a long way to go.
And then last thing for you, Andy, real quick, Chicago kid, Tim and Horton Tucker. You got that blood that runs deep there in the state of Illinois. What do you think is preseason, and how does that help you going into the regular season?
He played his ass off. I mean, he's been great from day one. Even in the bubble, last year, he's been great for us. And he's a kid who wants to learn, a kid who wants to go out there and compete and and get thrown in the fire. He doesn't shy away from matchups. He doesn't shy away from big moments. He listens, and that's all you can ask for from a guy who is a young player. And for him to come in and play with so much confidence and do good things for us on defense and on the offensive end is huge for us. And he's going to be a big role for us this year. And he's continuing to learn. I mean, it's his, second year, and, he's still learning the game. So, the future is bright for him for sure.
Thanks, Eddie, man. We appreciate the time.
Yep, thanks, Mike.
I appreciate that, Mike. And Anthony Davis, AD, and LeBron in their final tune-up. They get extended minutes. LeBron plays 25. He ends up with 20. But I want to talk about Anthony Davis, guys. He is game ready, and it showed in that third quarter. He had 19 of his 35 in that third. He was 6 of 7 for 3 overall, 4 of 5 in that third quarter, and just 30 minutes, 35 points, Fish.
Yes, efficient. Still really wanted to try and figure out how to win this game. Like, I don't think they felt like the world was going to end, obviously, if they did it. Talked about Frank Vogel really getting on them at halftime about the lack of defensive intensity. And that's really what seemed to turn them on. As they started to really lock in defensively. The Suns scored 39 points in the first quarter, finished with 113, 74 points the rest of the game. And so this Lakers team.
Is it Groundhog Day? Nope. It's just the NBA's preseason in 2020. LeBron and the Lakers are still in Phoenix for the second game of the two-game road trip. LeBron scored 11 points in just 15 minutes on Wednesday. He and Anthony Davis will be ready come opening night. But will that require some minutes on the court tonight? The Lakers wrap up the preseason in Phoenix. Tip-off is at 7:30 right here on Spectrum Sportsnet. Will the Lakers complete the preseason a perfect 4-0? We will find out. As we say hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealer. I'm Allie Clifton, joined by the Hall of Famer, big game, James Worthy, 5-time champ, head coach of the LA Sparks, Derek Fisher. Mike and Mike are here, Trudell and Bez, Geeter's running point, halftime and postgame. We're all here. Best thing about tonight, though, is what? I ask you both.
We're 6 feet apart.
Way to keep it real.
Last game of preseason.
Nailed it. Last game of the preseason. Isn't that the best feeling?
Yeah, I think for some people, but some people may not play a lot after the preseason ends. So,
oh, there's that. Wow, you were just.
keep that in mind, too.
You came ready to go.
Yes.
Coach is always thinking about, playing time and decisions like that,
You got me. All right. I'm going to try to pick it up. After playing in game 3.